I didn't study 10 hours a day. I didn't even study an hour a day. No textbooks. 皆さんどうもこんにちは. Today I'll be teaching you how I learned Japanese as a person who's not as studious as those aesthetic study talk videos you see about learning languages. Let's go! Now, before we begin, I want to introduce myself to the new people. 皆さんこんにちは. I am Aidan, and I've been learning Japanese for 4 years and counting. I started learning in 2021, and I've previously also made a video on how I learned Japanese, but that was 3 years ago. So I want to make a video on my growth, how much I've improved since then, and, well, a clear video, because I think this video was too rushed, and I was kind of a very big amateur at that time, so yeah. A new video, yay! And for the newcomers, I also want to let you guys know that this video is for if you want to learn Japanese conversationally. I have not taken the JLPT exam, but my teacher, who I've had online classes with, told me that my speaking skills are on an M3, and I am more fluent when it comes to conversational situations. It's just that my Japanese is more focused on Japanese with friends or if you travel. So if you're learning Japanese to travel, make friends, or just study it as a hobby, you've come to the right place. So let's get started. To learn Japanese, you just need 3 things. 3 things, that's all. That's motivation, your phone, and the will to interact. Literally, that is all you need. What you don't need, on the other hand, is textbooks. You don't have to pay to learn a language. Learn it for free. That's how I started. Now, motivation is important because why are you learning this language? You can't just decide that, oh, I want to learn Chinese and do nothing about it. You need to be motivated. Motivation comes out your own thinking. It's your own thought. It's your own belief. So motivation can be something very small, or it can be very big. It could be, I want to work in a Japanese company, as big as that. Or it can be as small as, oh, I want to go travel and talk, be able to talk to people, be able to surprise people. I could say, hi, what's your name? And they'll be stuttering, they'll be like, eigo, yaba, eigo dekina. And then you'd be like, ちょっと待って、日本語話せるよ. And びっくりする them. You'll surprise them. That was one of my motivations at that time when I started learning. But yeah, motivation isn't really important of how small or big it is, as long as it's important to you. As long as to you, it's something that will help you keep going, then that is the best thing to have. This is very crucial. This is very important, guys. Motivation, really. If you don't have, find it. It's somewhere. It's there. If you want to learn Japanese, if there's a reason, find it. If you don't have, you're learning Japanese because you have to go to school there, you have to work there. Find the motivation. Find a light in the... Find fun in the most difficult things. Next, we need your phone. Phone is, technology is everything these days. This is why I said that you don't need to pay to learn a language. So I have some recommendations for apps and other things, but I'll tell you that later. Anyways, for now, your phone is important. Have that with you, which I'm sure you have that every day, but hold it. Okay, now let's talk about being a beginner. Now, I get that learning as a beginner is very overwhelming. How I was as a beginner was, oh my god, what am I gonna do first? What do you do first? How do you study a language? I searched up YouTube videos. I searched up Google. And I searched oh, how do I do this and how do I do that? What do I learn first? And a lot of them said, take online classes. But I'm broke. I didn't have money that time. So I'm like, wow, I'm done for. I guess I can't. I guess I'm not qualified to learn a language because I do not have money for online classes. But one thing I realized after learning, you just need to learn the alphabets first. So for now, learn the hiragana, katakana, and leave out the kanji. I repeat, leave out the kanji. Don't pressure yourself because there's kanji. Oh my god, I can't read. I can't learn if I don't know how to read kanji. If it makes you feel any better, a lot of Japanese people can't read their own kanji either. It's completely normal. It's fine. If you don't know how to read kanji yet, learn to improve your other things, and when you're ready, that's when you hone your kanji. You do not have to rush yourself into kanji because you are just gonna get even more overwhelmed. Learn hiragana, learn katakana, leave out kanji, learn it later. Unless you really want to challenge yourself, go ahead. Then, if you're done learning hiragana, katakana, you can move on to learning vocabularies. Now, how do you learn vocabularies? There is so many ways that I will teach you later. But yeah, remember, hiragana, katakana, and then you learn their vocab. and then you learn their grammar, okay? Because you cannot make a sentence, you cannot learn how to make that grammar without vocabs. How can you say you're running when you don't know how to say run in Japanese? How can you say, oh, I'm eating when you don't know what eating is in Japanese? So it all comes to learning the words first before building the structure. And another thing people always worry about is they always forget hiragana and katakana. As long as you don't forget, that's completely fine if you can't memorize hiragana and katakana in one sitting. Okay? No pressure, take your time. Language takes time to learn, okay? Okay. So next, we will use our third thing that we need into our second technique. It's learning languages through apps. Now, the apps I'm going to be recommending you aren't how do I learn Japanese? These are where do I talk to Japanese people or people learning in Japanese. So I have 3 apps for you. I have HelloTalk, Maum, and Yay. HelloTalk is a very good app. That's where I made the most Japanese friends. That's where I met all my Japanese friends. And I'd say it's a very safe app. Of course, you might meet some people who are a bit weird, but you know, weird people can never be 100% avoided. No matter what rules, what regulations and restrictions you put, there will always be weird people. But I can say out of the 3, HelloTalk is the safest app you'll ever use, the best app you'll ever use, and it's so convenient. So yeah, HelloTalk is an app where you can exchange languages. So if you're learning Japanese and they're learning English, you can teach them English and then they'll teach you Japanese. You can do calls there, you can do messages, you can make friends, and it's just a very convenient app. I've been using that for 5 years now. Next is Maum. Now Maum is more of a random app, so you can put the language you're speaking. So Maum is an app with people from different countries, so it's a really randomized app. It has a time limit, which is 7 minutes to talk with them. And yeah, there's a bunch of Japanese people there. It's quite fun, but there's a time limit, so you can change instas. There's a bunch of weird people, but if you're lucky, you'll meet people just fine. Lastly, Yay. I don't recommend Yay to beginners, but if you're confident in your Japanese and you're really okay with like communicating and really putting yourself out there, I guess Yay is worth a shot. Yay is an app dominated by Japanese people. I think it's a Japanese app itself. There are a lot of weird people here. It's like the best place to practice your speaking skills because a lot of them use a lot of slangs. Some of them use like more professional terms. You'll meet all sorts of people there. But there's a lot of weird people, racist people, and you know, if you're not really ready to put yourself out there, I don't suggest it. But if you really want to learn more and expand yourself, expand your vocabulary, it's a good app to use when you're bored. Now, a lot of people also ask me how I make friends with Japanese people. I don't really know what to say when it comes to that because it's really just the same as becoming friends with any other person, you know, regardless of nationality. You could just say, hi, how are you? What's your name? And yada, yada, yada. What's your hobbies? It's literally just ask them questions to get to know them, okay? You just try to get to know them first. And for those who are not really familiar with Japanese personalities, as a person who's been learning Japanese for 5 years, I can vouch that at least half, or if not half, a little bit more, Japanese people do not take the lead, okay, in talking. I'm not talking about guy and girl, I'm talking about Japanese people in general. They could be a guy, they could be a girl. A lot of them are shy, okay? So if you really want to talk, you have to lead. Unless you find someone who matches your energy, then that's good. But a lot of them are really, really shy. They want to talk, but they don't know how, so they don't text you. Or if sometimes there are a lot of situations where they don't text you anymore, they ghost you, they don't reply, then move on. Find more people. There's 8 billion people in the world. How many people can speak Japanese and how many Japanese people are there? That's also one of my advices. Don't restrict yourself to just Japanese people. You should also try interacting with people learning Japanese, because that's how I made my friends from Manila, because we're both Filipino, but we both speak Japanese. And whenever we go out, we always talk in Japanese. So yeah, don't restrict yourself. Have an open mind. In short, just really talk to them how you want to talk to any person. Be yourself. You don't need to dimmer yourself. Maybe first meeting, tone down the energy a bit, but then when you continue to talk, you can just be yourself, be excited, be open, ask questions. That is how I became friends with my current Japanese people, or some of them just really matched my energy. Now we're on to methods. So my first method for you guys is talking to yourself. Now, talking to yourself sounds weird if you come to think of it. Any normal person would think talking to yourself is weird, which in normal cases it is. But for language learners, it's something very effective in improving your intonation and pronunciation when you're speaking another language. So that's what I always used to do during the pandemic because I didn't really have that much people to talk to other than the people from Hello Talk. So I would say, 今日何しよっかな今日何食べようかな暇だなちょっとお腹空いたかも Daddy by talking to yourself, you're both thinking of a vocabulary to use, and you do not have to be worried of making a mistake because you're by yourself. A lot of people think this is weird because you're watching the person do it themselves. But if you do it by yourself, heck, you even sing in the shower. Why would you be shy? Why would you be embarrassed to talk to yourself when this is a method to improve your pronunciation and intonation? Right? Next, we have shadowing. Now, shadowing is quite similar to talking to yourself, but it's more on copying whatever you see on dramas. Not just even dramas, like people. So, if I see a character repeating the same word all the time, then I would be like, I see it. And then it would come to my head. You will process that and be like, Rengoku used to say this all the time. Umai, umai. So it must mean that's good, that's tasty. So every time he says it, umai, 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 umai. So I could drink my coffee and I'd be like, umai. So yeah, that is another way to really get it and process it, remember. And it's better if it's a character who says a lot of words. For example, when you watch anime, don't just watch it for the plot or for the art. Watch it for the words. Find a word that they repeat constantly. Don't let it go from one ear to another. Let it sink in. So if you're gonna watch anime when it comes to consuming media, I really recommend watching rom-com or slice of life because they have the most realistic words they use, like an everyday word of choice. Not those weird magic wizard sci-fi anime because a lot of them have exaggerated expressions that they do not use in real life. So I do not really recommend that. But it's not like you can, but it's just it might influence your way of talking, I'm just saying. Another advice is to consume media. I bet a lot of YouTubers say this as well. Consuming media is very important because you're really immersing yourself. So this can be games, VTubers, or YouTubers, manga. It could be anything. This helps you get really familiar with the Japanese words. You'll be reading a lot of hiragana and katakana, so you'll be so familiar with them. By consuming media, you will also slowly get used to kanji. So you'd be like, oh, I've seen this kanji before. This kanji means this. This kanji means that. I think the easiest way to remember kanji is to think of it as a drawing. You know, kanji is like a character. Well, it is a character. Try to think of like, let's say ame. Ame means rain, right? And the word ame and the kanji ame looks like rain, doesn't it? See? Ame, rain. And also by reading a lot of manga or like anything that has Japanese words, it helps. It really does. And if you watch YouTube, I do recommend watching Kyosuke. It's a romance reality show of high schoolers. And it doesn't have an English subtitle. That's why I think it's very helpful because you'll be forced to understand the tea. I also recommend Onomappu. He really helped me in learning a lot when it came to Japanese. You can also avail VPN because if you have VPN and you can change your country to Japan, you can go on Netflix and then you can watch series from there. And the thing about VPN is you can avail movies from different countries. Like let's say I can avail it from Japan, but you cannot have English subtitles because they're just from Japan. They don't have English, but they have a lot of things you can watch there and you can like consume it and all. So yeah, I talked a lot, I yapped a lot, but I really hope that everything I told you guys and I advise you guys is any help. I hope that my method works for you too because I'm really happy that a lot of people look up to me as I learn Japanese, and I really hope that a lot of people can improve because of me as well. So online classes are really not necessary, but if you want to, feel free to take them. I personally would recommend JapZone. I took JapZone for a while, around 6 months, and it really helped me form a structure of how to start. And the things I taught you was the things I learned along the way on how to start learning the language. So if they helped you, I'm really glad. And if you have any other questions, just leave them down below. Yeah, I'm so glad I was finally able to make this video for you guys. It took so much time. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm very like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'd appreciate if you leave a like and subscribe down below. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye guys! じゃあね! 見てくれてありがとう!